President Trump's call for Apple to shift manufacturing from China to India reflects a complex geopolitical landscape. This move is not just a simple business decision, it is a strategic maneuver in the larger game of global politics and economics. He wants to reduce U.S. reliance on China, a country that has become the world's factory over the past few decades. This reliance has made the U.S. vulnerable to supply chain disruptions and geopolitical tensions. This reliance extends to critical supply chains, including technology. The tech industry is particularly sensitive to these shifts, as it depends heavily on the seamless flow of components and raw materials. Apple, as a tech giant, sits squarely in the middle of this power struggle. The company's vast supply chain and significant market presence make it a key player in this geopolitical chess game. Trump's statement highlights the growing rivalry between the U.S. and China. This rivalry is not just about trade, it encompasses technology, military power, and global influence. It also underscores the strategic importance of India. As the world's largest democracy and a rapidly growing economy, India is seen as a potential counterbalance to China's dominance. India, with its large workforce and growing economy, represents a potential alternative to China for manufacturing. The country offers a vast pool of skilled labor and a burgeoning market for consumer goods. Apple's decision-making process will have significant economic and political consequences. The company's choices will influence global supply chains, affect international trade relations, and potentially shift the balance of economic power. This is not just about economics. The decisions made by companies like Apple have far-reaching implications for national security and global influence. It's about national security and global influence. The U.S. is keen to ensure that its technological and economic interests are safeguarded against potential threats. The U.S. is seeking ways to counter China's growing economic and military might. This includes encouraging American companies to diversify their manufacturing bases and reduce their dependence on China. Encouraging companies like Apple to diversify manufacturing is one tactic in this broader strategy. By shifting production to other countries, the U.S. aims to create a more resilient and secure supply chain. The outcome of this tug-of-war between the U.S. and China will have far-reaching implications. It will shape the future of global trade, influence international relations, and determine the balance of power in the 21st century. Apple's manufacturing presence in China is extensive and deeply entrenched. Over the years, Apple has built a vast network of suppliers and manufacturers in the country, making it a cornerstone of their production strategy. China has become known as the world's factory, and Apple has been a major beneficiary of its manufacturing prowess. The country's ability to produce high-quality electronics at scale and at competitive prices has been a significant factor in Apple's success. Key components for iPhones, iPads, and other Apple products are sourced and assembled in China. This includes everything from the intricate circuit boards to the sleek glass screens that make Apple products so iconic. The city of Zhengzhou, often dubbed iPhone City, exemplifies Apple's dependence on Chinese manufacturing. This city alone is responsible for producing a significant portion of the world's iPhones, highlighting the scale and importance of Apple's operations in China. This sprawling industrial complex employs hundreds of thousands of workers. These workers are the backbone of Apple's supply chain, working tirelessly to meet the global demand for Apple products. They produce a significant portion of the world's iPhones. The efficiency and scale of these operations are unmatched, allowing Apple to maintain its position as a leader in the tech industry. The scale of Apple's operations in China demonstrates the country's dominance in global supply chains. China's infrastructure, skilled labor force, and manufacturing expertise make it an ideal partner for Apple. Apple's reliance on China, however, is not without its risks. The company's deep ties to the country mean that any disruptions in China can have significant impacts on Apple's global operations. Overdependence on a single country for manufacturing creates vulnerabilities. These vulnerabilities can manifest in various ways, from supply chain disruptions to geopolitical tensions. These vulnerabilities can be exploited in times of economic or political turmoil. For instance, trade wars or political conflicts can lead to increased tariffs, supply chain interruptions, and other challenges that can affect Apple's ability to produce and deliver products. Apple's close ties to China have also drawn scrutiny from U.S. lawmakers concerned about intellectual property theft and national security. The ongoing tensions between the US and China have put Apple in a delicate position, as the company must navigate these complex geopolitical landscapes while maintaining its business operations. Despite these challenges, Apple continues to invest heavily in China. The country remains a crucial market for Apple, not just for manufacturing but also for sales. Chinese consumers are some of the most avid users of Apple products, making the market indispensable for the company's growth. Additionally, Apple has established research and development centers in China, collaborating with local tech companies to drive innovation. This symbiotic relationship has allowed Apple to stay at the forefront of technology while benefiting from China's rapid advancements in the tech sector. In conclusion, Apple's deep roots in China are a testament to the country's pivotal role in the global supply chain. While there are risks associated with this dependence, the benefits have been substantial, enabling Apple to deliver cutting-edge products to consumers around the world. Trump's focus on India as an alternative to China is driven by a combination of political and economic factors. He sees India as a key partner in countering China's growing influence in the Indo-Pacific region. Strengthening ties with India aligns with the US strategy of cultivating alliances to contain China. Economically, India represents a vast, untapped market for American goods and services, including Apple products. India's burgeoning middle class and tech-savvy population make it an attractive destination for investment. Trump's push for Apple to manufacture in India is partly aimed at tapping into this potential market. Furthermore, Trump's America First agenda prioritizes bringing manufacturing jobs back to the US. Encouraging companies like Apple to diversify their manufacturing base away from China serves this objective. By promoting India as an alternative, Trump aims to create competitive pressure on China while simultaneously boosting US manufacturing. Section 4. Cracks in the wall. Apple's China challenges. Apple's long-standing reliance on China for manufacturing is facing increasing challenges. Rising labor costs in China are eroding the country's competitive advantage. As Chinese wages increase, the cost differential with other manufacturing hubs like India shrinks, making them more attractive alternatives. Geopolitical tensions between the United States and China pose another significant risk for Apple. The trade war initiated by the Trump administration resulted in tariffs on goods imported from China, impacting Apple's bottom line. The ongoing rivalry between the two superpowers creates uncertainty for businesses operating in China. Moreover, concerns about intellectual property theft and forced technology transfer in China have plagued foreign companies, including Apple. The Chinese government's push for indigenous innovation and its close ties to domestic companies raise concerns about unfair competition and intellectual property protection. Section 5. The allure of India. A manufacturing powerhouse emerges. India, a land of immense potential and opportunity, is rapidly emerging as a formidable player in the global manufacturing arena. This transformation is not just a fleeting trend, but a well-orchestrated shift driven by strategic initiatives and inherent advantages. India presents a compelling alternative for Apple as it seeks to diversify its manufacturing base. The country's burgeoning industrial landscape is characterized by a blend of traditional craftsmanship and cutting-edge technology, making it an ideal location for high-tech manufacturing. With its vast pool of low-cost labor, India offers a significant cost advantage over China. This cost efficiency is not merely about lower wages but also about the overall economic environment that supports large-scale manufacturing. The availability of raw materials coupled with a robust supply chain network further enhances India's appeal. The Indian government has implemented policies aimed at attracting foreign investment and promoting manufacturing, making the country an increasingly attractive destination for companies like Apple. Initiatives such as the Make in India campaign and various tax incentives have created a conducive environment for foreign enterprises to set up and expand their operations. India's large and growing domestic market provides a ready consumer base for Apple products. The sheer size of the population combined with a rising middle class means that there is a vast and untapped market for consumer electronics. This demographic shift is creating a new wave of consumers eager to embrace the latest technology. As the Indian middle class expands and disposable incomes rise, the demand for smartphones and other consumer electronics is expected to surge. This growth is not just limited to urban areas but is also spreading to rural regions, where connectivity and digital literacy are on the rise. Manufacturing locally would allow Apple to tap into this vast market and potentially reduce reliance on imports. By producing within the country, Apple can not only meet local demand more efficiently, but also navigate the complexities of import tariffs and logistics. Moreover, India offers a young and increasingly skilled workforce. The country's education system is producing a steady stream of engineers, technicians, and IT professionals who are well-versed in the latest technologies and manufacturing processes. The country boasts a large pool of engineers and technicians, providing a skilled labor force for high-tech manufacturing. This talent pool is not only vast but also highly adaptable, capable of meeting the evolving needs of global tech giants like Apple. Additionally, India's English-speaking population facilitates communication and collaboration with global companies like Apple. This linguistic advantage ensures that there are minimal barriers in terms of language, making it easier for multinational companies to operate seamlessly. The cultural affinity towards technology and innovation further strengthens India's position as a manufacturing powerhouse.